class today, and I'm going to be reading you one of my favorite stories. I brought this story all the way over from Canada, and I love it because it's all about filling buckets. As you can see, I already have a display like this in my classroom because in Ginkgo class, we are all bucket fillers, and you're going to find out what this means when I tell you the story. How full is your bucket? Felix was putting one of the last blocks on top of his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away, you're too little." "I'm big." "Stay back, you'll knock it over." "I can be very careful." "Go play with your baby toys, Anna." She doesn't look that happy. So what does she do? Whack! She knocks over the tower. "Grandpa!" Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket?" Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. Do you see any invisible buckets? But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." Uh-oh, what do we think's gonna happen? Felix slipped and cocoa weeds scattered all across the floor. "Felix!" yelled his mom. "You should have used the stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip, and big invisible drips started to spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha!" Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. "Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. Before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." Drip. "Psst, Felix, psst." Drip. "Watch out, shrimp." Drip. What's happening to his bucket? It was still morning and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. Does he look very happy when his bucket's empty? No. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumpernickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned. He felt a big drop land inside his bucket. Drop, drop, plop, blink. As he read his story, he started to get more drops in his bucket. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped. Even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops go into his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. He got a message from his mom in his lunch. Drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Drop. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. Drop. What's happening to his bucket when things are happening nice for him? By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly half full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Let me help you. Drop, drop. Here's your baseball catch. Thanks, dude. Drop, drop. Hi, I'm Felix. First day? Yes, I'm Amir. Drop, drop. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. When Felix burst into the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa! I do have a bucket and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her. Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest tower in the world with my blocks?" So now Felix is starting to think about everyone and how he can fill their bucket. And so they did. So what did we learn from this story? Yes, everyone has invisible buckets. And when you fill someone else's bucket by doing something nice, your bucket fills up too. And when you do something mean or not very nice to somebody else, you're not only emptying their bucket, you're emptying your bucket too. So it's very, very important that when we're at school, at home, or at a friend's house, we're always thinking of ways that we can fill each other's bucket.